Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Namrata Shah. Today, I want you to imagine these women. A mother, an entrepreneur, a scuba diver, a crowned beauty queen, a philanthropist serving underprivileged children, and a corporate leader. At first glance, these women seem worlds apart. But are they really that different? Today I'm here to talk about reclaiming the feminine power. Now I know what most of you are thinking. It is 2025 and we are still talking about reclaiming the feminine power? You would have thought the system would have auto-updated by now. But no, we are still running on dinosaur code 1.0, built for extinction and not evolution. And that code, it breaks women slowly. The world doesn't break women all at once. It happens gradually with each phase of life asking her to give up something. Her body, her mind, her very existence. We stop speaking. We stop laughing. We stop wearing what we love. We stop celebrating out loud. Not because we changed, but because the world told us to tone it down. All to fit in. We shrink just to fit in. Not because we want to, but so others can stay comfortable. So today, let's break a few rules. Let's get burning, stay bold, and stop asking women to lean in. Let me tell you 3 stories. Stories of women in my life. That's it. Just 3 stories. The first story is about me. As a child, year after year, I stood in long monsoon queues waiting to receive donated educational material from the community. One day it rained too heavily, almost storm-like, but I stood there. When I returned home, defeated, drenched, tired, and feeling small, not just from the rains, but from my reality, my mother looked at me and simply said, "Stay soaked, stay burning." Those words still fuel me. Let the world pour. Just don't lose yourself or your fire. I have traveled great lengths since then, not just academically, but also geographically. But I keep returning to my roots. And over the past decade, I have made it a point to serve educational material to the underprivileged children so they too can find the light. I have always loved the rains because they remind me of where I came from and how far I have come. So always rise up and stay grounded. My second story is about a girl. I saw her each morning walk by, moving quietly through the crowd with her head down. But there was something in her eyes. There was a relentless hunger, a silent promise. She had taken a loan to study MBA from the United Kingdom, fighting for her future. Not because she had all the answers, but because standing still felt more dangerous than moving forward. That fire, it was not just in her eyes, it was in her heart. She finished her education, came back to India, and started working as an HR trainee. They watched her, often the youngest and the only woman in the room. She was told that leadership is not for women, that she should not even try because a woman's voice does not matter, that she is dispensable. Her colleagues watched her often as she was the one expected to always prove that she belonged, but she wasn't alone. A Harvard Business Review study says that women leaders are often judged more harshly when they exhibit both competence and warmth. While a 2022 McKinsey study says that about 60% of women feel pressurized to conform to traditional gender norms at work. Her colleagues watched her work twice as hard for half the credit, but she kept going. Rung by rung, she rose to become the group head HR. Today, she's led global teams, earned a PhD, and speaks on stages people once told her were out of her reach. So, if you're ever been told, too young, too ambitious, too much, let them talk. Just rise up and say, watch me. The third story is about a young woman. I have known her since I was a child. She came from a deeply patriarchal home where women were told to cover their heads, keep their voices down, and bury their dreams before they could even speak them out loud. She learned early that a woman's worth was tied to obedience and not visibility. So when she stepped on a pageant stage, the covered head replaced with a crown, they judged her. They said glamour wasn't for good girls and often dismissed it as superficial. They said that she did not value tradition, that she was ignoring her children. But she walked that stage wearing her truth. Because behind the glitter was grit, behind the poise was power, and behind the smile was strength. For her, the glitz wasn't about the appearance. It was about purpose. Today, she is not just Mrs. World India 2021 and Mrs. Tanzania World. She is living proof that elegance and ambition can belong to the same woman. So when the world tells you to shrink to fit, shine so bright that they don't have a choice but to expand. Now, the philanthropist, the corporate strategist, and the crowned beauty queen, the child in the rain, the girl who is group head HR, and the woman who is the beauty pageant winner. All of these three representing and embodying guts, glamour, and glory. Do you think these can be the same person? What is your instinctive answer? Thank you. These are all me. And that's the heart of my talk. Thank you. These are all me, and that's the heart of my talk. Now, the problem with stereotypes, it is not that others impose them on us. It is that we start believing them ourselves. We start to think we must choose. I have been told to choose my whole life. Choose between career and motherhood, between intellect and elegance, between scuba fins as a certified open water scuba diver and high heels. But I choose all. I choose to be unapologetically me. I have stood at a podium defending my PhD and under spotlights wearing a tiara. I have raised children and raised corporate profits. I have nurtured underprivileged children for over a decade and nurtured my own brand in children's products as its founder and CEO. And every time I refuse to choose, I have seen people's mental boxes stretch. Sometimes to fit me, and sometimes to break entirely. Even an Oxford University research on dual identity performance says that those who embody seemingly opposite roles expand public perception of what is possible. My head, that was expected to be covered and lowered due to social norms, now holds high with crowns and multiple hats of achievements. Even in 2025, our culture still offers women a false menu of choices. beauty or brains, ambition or nurturing, leadership or femininity. But progress will never be complete until women and men are free to be completely multidimensional without penalty. So the next time you meet a woman, please don't reduce her to a single headline. And if you are that woman, remember this: you get to choose to be the whole painting, not just one color. Because when a woman holds a thesis in one hand and her tiara in another, she isn't breaking the rules, she is rewriting history. Thank you very much.